Y'all are not gonna like this video. Alright y'all, Cal Noah Drive 229. Quick video. Basically, I ain't gonna make this video too long, but basically what I'm doing in this video is I'm kind of recounting my whole Porsche experience. Part of this, the purpose of this channel starting out was just to offer like some real life advice from like an average person, not like your rich YouTuber or something, from an average person on owning certain cars. And I realized that during my ownership time with the Porsche, I didn't really get on here and vlog anything. So what I'm gonna do is kind of just go through my ownership and just tell y'all like things I did, things I didn't do, why I didn't do those things I experienced, maintenance. I'm gonna kind of put everything into one quick video. And the easiest way for me to do that is to go through my Instagram, which I told y'all to follow anyway. Go through my IG and just tell y'all everything that happened, things I was thinking about doing, things I didn't do, why I didn't do those, why I did, blah, blah, blah. So here we are. All right, so February 8th, 2018 is when I got it. I remember that very vividly because it was the day after my mom's birthday. So I got that car February 8th, 2018. For those of you that didn't see it, or I guess on the first reveal of it that we did, this is how it looked. I don't know if you can see that very clearly, but that's how it looked. It had the it was Carrara white GTS, of course, GTS exterior package. It had the gunmetal colored wheels. I forget what they're called, like platinum something or whatever they called them. It had those wheels. Real good looking car. But that's how it came. It did not come with the full GTS exterior package though. It just had the black on the front fascia, and then it didn't have, it didn't have the mirrors or the vents done when I got it. So, little tidbit I'm gonna add in here. This is something I've never told anyone except my wife. When I first bought that car, when I drove it off the lot, in my excitement, I nailed it to the floor, of course, who doesn't? And I was a little disappointed in the power. Like literally right after signing the papers, I was legitimately a little disappointed in what happened. But I just figured, you know, I'll get used to it. I'll learn to use it. I'll find ways to keep it in the power band or whatever. I was just thinking it was just a flop. You know, I didn't think nothing of it. And I've driven the car numerous times before, so this was like, you know, that was probably a flop. I was probably in the wrong gear, something, whatever. I didn't think nothing of it. I was still excited about my car, but that did happen. This is a real cool picture me and D took of our cars together. Again, this is when it was still stock, so it had the silver wheels. You can see them a lot better in that picture. It had the silver wheels. Nothing else was blacked out on the car though. This is what I ended up doing was this, which I feel like everyone should do to their Porsche, well, their Cayman. Notice how the badges, the letters are, I'm gonna see if I can get a little closer. The letters are on the trunk instead of on the hatch. So the letters come across the top of the hatch. If you look at like a 2014, 15, 16 Cayman, the Porsche letters go across the hatch that's like above the wing. And I didn't think that looked cool. I was like, this, because on the GT4, the letters are down here with GT4 under it. So I thought that looked a lot better. So the first thing I did was I went and bought new Porsche letters. I put those across the back. I just used like another Porsche at the lot as a template. I put some blue tape over it, marked it off, and put them across there, and took the old ones off. I mean, those came off super easy with some floss and a little bit of wax. Those came off super easy, no marks left there, and I put those across the back. And I always left the wing up because I felt the wing looked cool. I know that may be a little ricey as a Porsche owner to leave your wing up when you're not really using it, but whatever, I thought it looked cooler. One thing I didn't like about the car was the back of it, so I thought the back of it looked kind of feminine. So I put that on there to kind of help a little bit. And then I also put, you can't see it that well in this picture, but I did put the Cayman GT4 diffuser on the bottom of the car. If you go to my Instagram, it's cammed_out_cal, CAMMEDOUT_CAL. Second thing I did was I got the wheels blacked out. Now when I did that, that made it look a lot more, will you please focus? What are you doing? There we go. Jesus Christ. All right. So I got the wheels blacked out, as you can see there, and it made it look so much more aggressive, so much more sporty, so much more masculine, so much more beefy. Just looked like a whole different car when I did that. So I did that. I actually had to get it done twice, because the first time I got it done, I told them like a satin black, and they came back like super ashy matte black. And so I had to get them sent back to do them gloss, semi-gloss black is what they ended up calling it. And it came out super, super good. After that, I immediately went and had the pretty much my own version of the GTS exterior package done, which, let's see if it'll focus this time. There we go. Which basically meant that I got the mirror, the bottom of the mirror, like the bottom of the mirror, I got that wrapped black, satin black. I got the vents wrapped satin black, and I also did the winged satin black, which, like I told you, I kept the wing up all the time. So getting that wrapped satin black helped out a lot. It's hot in here, and I don't want to turn the AC on because it's gonna mess up the video, but I'm gonna turn on a little bit. So those were the things I did to it. So just to recap, I took the Porsche letters off the hatch. I put them on the rear part of the car, like where the Porsche GT4 letters are, and every other Porsche for some reason other than the Caymans and Boxsters. I wrapped the wing black. I wrapped the bottom of the mirror caps black, bottom of the mirror assembly black, and then I wrapped the vents black, and then I blacked out the wheels. So basically I made it what it would have been if it was a regular Cayman GTS with the black exterior package, except I also did the wing. I didn't do the roof. I thought about it, but I didn't do the roof. Next thing I did was exhaust. I put the headers on, and I'll try to put a video of it up in here. If you go to the Instagram, you'll also see it. But I put the headers on. I did catless race headers from Fab Speed with the Porsche Sport exhaust that I already had, but I did the bypass on it, so I unhooked the vacuum hose from it so that the flaps didn't close. I kept it on for a couple weeks, if that, and I didn't drive it much when I had it on. It was loud. It sounded really cool. It sounded like really exotic. It sounded almost like a leader bike in some ways. It was like really high pitched and racy sounding, and that ultimately is why I ended up taking it off, because like I said, it sounded really high pitched and racy sounding. Like I couldn't pull out of my house without merging into traffic. It sounded like I was going down a F1 track, which was cool sometimes, but a lot of times it was a little bit annoying. And to me personally, again, so some people are not going to agree with this, but to me personally, the car was a little too slow to be that loud. It made a lot of noise for a lot of not fast. So ultimately, I ended up taking that back off. I sold that for pretty much what I paid for it to a guy who had a GT4. Actually, he wanted on his GT4, and it was the same exhaust. So he used those for his GT4, and he seems happy with them. I talked to him after he got him, and he received them, and he was all excited. So he was whatever. So he liked his. He was enjoying his. I didn't like them. If you like loud noises and stuff like that, I recommend them. They do stink, I will tell you that. And the check engine light was intermittent. Like sometimes I would get it, sometimes I wouldn't. I didn't do the tune because I didn't want to mess up warranty or just mess up my resale. But I did put the headers on. They did stink and they were really loud. That's pretty much it. Those are the things I did with it. I had a tire blowout. I put another tire on. I ended up finding a used tire, one like mine. I put that on. Trying to go through everything I did with that car. I think I may have done a couple oil changes on it, and they were like, I think I got them done for like 150, 160. It wasn't anything egregious. It was like 150, 160, nothing crazy. I did do spark plugs. I think I got that done for like 220 or something like that. I'm trying to go through all my experiences with that car, trying to make sure I cover everything for anybody who wants to know. Luggage. That was a big thing I was worried about when I bought it. So it's not as bad as you may think when it comes to luggage. It's definitely not great, but it's not as bad as you may think. What we did was my wife had a really big suitcase, and it had the wheels that kind of stick out of the bottom of it, and it almost fit like that. So I bought her another suitcase that was pretty much the same size, but with the wheels kind of tucked into the body of it, and that fit perfectly in the front trunk of the Porsche Cayman. Then I could set like a duffel bag or something on top of it. My suitcase is like a medium-sized suitcase, and that went in the back with a duffel bag. So it was you could road trip in it. You just had to be careful what you packed and how long you were going, because that was it. Like that was all you had. You had that big bag, that medium bag, 2 duffel bags. That's it. You can't fit nothing else. And you're not gonna want to hold nothing in your lap because the car is already small on the inside. So road tripping, I think a weekend trip, I think it'll work. I think if you're trying to go for a long time, if you're a heavy packer like me and my wife are, not gonna work. What else can I say from my experience with that car? Gas mileage was okay. If you keep your foot out of it, you can get over 30. It wasn't slow, but it wasn't fast. It was just middle. It was, according to the numbers, about on par with a stock E92 M3, but I'd be willing to bet that my M3 that I had before this, if you don't watch the channel, I had an M3 before that, I would be willing to bet that my M3 with the mods I had done would have walked that Cayman. If I had to do it all over again and you gave me my E92 M3 back and that Cayman GTS, I would take E92 M3 every time. Just because of the practicality, and it was just as fast, and I don't get the track anymore, so the track times don't matter and all that stuff don't matter. It's just as capable on the street, or, you know, trying to make sure I recount everything. That's pretty much it. I didn't have much going on with that car when I had it. I didn't drive it a whole lot. When I first got it, I drove it a lot, like to death, because I was so excited about it. And then after a while, especially once I started fixing on my Suburban, it just sat in the garage. I didn't drive it much. When I would take it out, it would be like one of those nights when I just kind of wanted to do something fun. I would take it out and flopping down 400 with it, and, you know, max out on it every now and again, and that's pretty much it, bro. Like, it was a nice little fun car. I mean, it served its purpose. I will say, as a car, you can tell where Porsche nipped it in the balls and made it less than a 911, but you can also tell that they built that car around the driver, like from the way it pops and crackles when you get off the gas, to the way it accelerates, to the way it handles, to the way it's a little bit wobbly when you go through certain curves too hard. I think they did everything they could to make that car like a real driver's experience. If you're buying it with the intention of beating people, don't fool. I'm telling you, because I've had people talking to me now like, oh, well, if I get one, they'll read all these numbers online and they're like, well, it does this and it does. Okay, bro, get it. Do what you gonna do. But I'm telling you from firsthand experience, you are going to lose to a lot of new performance cars. Like even a Camaro SS with any type of bolt-on is gonna wax you. Like it's not gonna be pretty. Which is ultimately one of the reasons I end up selling it. Yeah, just, I mean, realistically speaking, like I said, some people are gonna watch this video, they're gonna quote every time they can. They're gonna find a Nürburgring time, they're gonna find a quarter-mile time, they're gonna find blase blase. I'm telling you, as an owner, and I had PDK, so nothing I could have done wrong. As an owner, that car is going to lose to a lot of stuff in these streets, especially stuff priced the same way it is. Now that being said, let's get to the depreciation of it. Long story short, y'all know I bought this car because I felt like depreciation wasn't gonna be that bad. It wasn't. I bought it for 70. When I traded it in, I got right at 68 for it. 67 for it. So I lost 3 grand. Now if you count the interest and the insurance and all that opportunity cost, you wanna go through all that, fine. But long story short, 70 to 68. I bought it with 9,000 miles. I traded it with like 20 something. I put a lot of miles on it in 11 months. So depreciation wasn't that bad on it. I did good on that front. Insurance was only, I think, 20 more bucks than my M3 was. I want to say it was like only $20 more than my M3 was, and that could have just been because of me, because I got a couple tickets in the interim of that. I got a ticket like the first week having that car, doing 85 and a 35. And my record is just ticket, and I don't even fight it no more. Just whatever. My insurance is gonna be high. I deal with it. Period. What else? The Porsche dealership, again, was amazing. When it came to getting in it and getting out of it, they were amazing. They helped me out every step of the way. The whole experience was nice. I mean, I'm glad I was able to do it. But if I'm being real with y'all, keeping it real, I wouldn't buy another one. To be honest, if I'm completely honest, I probably wouldn't buy another Porsche unless I had like Turbo S money, which is like 200 and something bands. Just from my experience with that car, I learned that while Porsche makes a great product, it costs a lot of money in Porsche world to get the power of everything else these days. Like you can take a new Mustang, the new direct injection Mustang GT, and do E85 exhaust intake tune and be trapping 125 in a quarter and dang near running 10s with a tire. That Cayman, you can take 2 grand in headers, 1,500 in a tune, only to go from a 12.5 to a 12.3, trapping 110, 112. Like that's the difference you're talking about, and you're talking about double the money of that car, like maybe triple, depending on how you spec them. You know, new for new. I mean, I know they say it's better on the track, but I don't live on the track. I live on the street. So I don't know. To me, that was an issue. That was part of the reason I ended up selling it. And it was very impractical. Like it was, like I said, you can get that road trip in, that short road trip. You can make it work. But you have to, like, I had to always be constantly telling my wife, like, hey, babe, you probably can't take that. It's probably not going to fit. Hey, you probably should put that back. Maybe you should put that in one bag. Maybe we should put this in one bag. Like, it was strategizing to make the car work. And I just felt like that was annoying. I think it works as a good third or fourth car. Like if you have a race car and a practical daily driver, then you get a Cayman GTS for like your wife. I hate to say that, I really do, but that's how I see it after my ownership. And I hate to be killing anybody's dream of owning one of these, but I feel like the reason I started this channel was to be honest with people. And I feel like this review is gonna go like the one of the 320i, where that review has more dislikes than likes. But that was a pretty honest review. To me, this car is a good starter Porsche because you're not gonna lose that much money. It's naturally aspirated, so you get to feel all those sensations. And it's not a bad car, don't get me wrong. But I think personally, I wouldn't spend the entire 65, 70 grand to buy it. I would drive it for about a year like I did, take that little bit of loss, and move into something else. If I was going to buy something to keep in that range, I'm gonna say probably a Hellcat Z06, or just stack up some more pennies and maybe go for a newer 911 with the turbo. It's just not enough power and enough performance for the money. I don't feel like it is. But to sum all this up, good car, pure sports car, not very practical, pure sports car, very fun. Definitely a driver's car, meant for your pure driving enjoyment. I wouldn't buy it again, I definitely wouldn't keep it, but it's a good car, and that just kind of goes through my experiences with it. That's the good, the bad, and the ugly about my ownership with the Porsche. I mean, good, it was a good car, I can't knock it. Like, I genuinely can't knock the car as a car. It's a really good car. I would not own one again though. I probably won't own any more Porsches, just because I ain't got 250 bands for a Turbo S, I ain't got 180 bands for a GT3. I got about, at most, 100 bands for a car. And that does not get me the Porsche I want. I have to go like an older one, and I don't like those. So yeah, quick wrap up of what's going on with that. If you saw the picture I posted on Instagram or on YouTube, actually, the nitrous bottle, that's for the Suburban. That'll be getting that soon. I was gonna do a 200 shot, but turns out with the amount of time I would have to pull to make that work, the motor would be crap, and I would need more fueling. So what I'm gonna do, I'm still gonna do it, but what I'm gonna do is at the same time that I do the turbo setup, I'm gonna do the nitrous setup, because I gotta do fueling for the turbo setup anyway, so I'm gonna do it all at the same time. I ain't gonna say I am gonna do it, because I'm thinking about selling that car and getting something else, but we'll see. I think that's pretty much it. I think I covered everything, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Cal, Nowhere Drive 229.